Hi there, fiber friends. Welcome back to another Spinning Sara video. Today we are talking about long draw, but this is long draw on a double drive wheel. So I'm going to talk to you guys about long draw. We've talked about it before. We will probably talk about it again. It's a hot topic that everybody wants to have their questions answered before. So one of my viewers specifically asked if I could do a long draw video on a double drive wheel. So we are going to pop over to the wheel and start talking about long draw on a double drive wheel. Let's go. Okay guys, first I wanted to go over some differences about what makes double drive a little bit different than a Scotch tension wheel. So as you guys can see, I've already been spinning on this bobbin. This wheel is currently set up in double drive, meaning the bobbin has two different ends. One end that you can see right here has a small pulley on it. The other side of the bobbin has a much larger pulley on it. The larger pulley is for Scotch tension. The smaller pulley is for double drive. And the way the double drive works is it uses size differential between the small pulley here and this larger pulley up here. Also, if I unscrew it really fast, there's another pulley that this particular wheel comes with that's super big. So it has 4 different ratios that it can go. Because I'm spinning long draw, I needed my wheel to go faster. So when I'm spinning short forward, I generally stay in this pulley because this pulley I think is 8-to-1 roughly. Don't quote me on that. I have the paperwork somewhere, but I don't have it right beside me. The smaller the pulley, the faster the wheel goes. So I'm pretty sure this is 15-to-1 on this pulley, and this is 18-to-1 on this pulley. If you guys will remember my video on long draw on my Rose spinning wheel, I was spinning long draw on that wheel at 17-to-1. And so this one, because I'm still getting used to this wheel, it is still relatively new to me. I'm spinning this long draw, which is slightly thicker than what I was spinning, I think before, maybe by like a hair. But this is being spun on 15-to-1. But because this drive wheel is so enormous, I feel like it's going plenty fast for the way that I spin. Okay, so you have size differential, which you have a single drive band. It looks like 2, but it's actually 2 loops, and one loop goes over the pulley on the bobbin, and the other loop goes over the pulley on your your speed pulley. That controls how fast your flyer goes around, but it also controls how much uptake you have, how strongly the wheel pulls on your singles. So just like I said with a Scotch tension wheel, setting up your double drive wheel for long draw is a Goldilocks kind of situation. It's not too tight, not too loose, just right. So it's going to take a little bit of fiddling for you to figure out exactly how you want your wheel set up. This right here, right now, is how I want my wheel set up for this particular spin. Not that probably when I was spinning down here and before I moved my hook up, I increased my tension with this knob, just like 1 turn, because it wasn't pulling the exact right amount. So I had to fiddle with it a little bit, because as the bobbin fills up, the bobbin gets heavier and changes your uptake. The same is true for Scotch tension. You may notice that as your bobbin fills, you need to increase your tension because the bobbin weighs more, so it takes more to break it. Break as in slow it down. so it can wind on. All right. Another thing, kind of like a housekeeping kind of thing. Fiber prep matters. I will beat this drum. I will die on this hill. Fiber prep matters. This fiber is farm fresh combed top. It is combed, and this is the only combed top that I have ever successfully spun a fairly consistent single long draw with. It's farm fresh fleece processed locally to the actual farm, and it's crimpy, it's not dead. Most commercially processed fibers are dead and lifeless. Like if you pull them out, they really don't kink too much because the crimp has been processed out of them. This is really, really good stuff, and I will link to the fiber farm in the description. So all that to say, fiber prep matters, okay? If you spin crappy fiber, we all know about sacrificial fiber, fiber that you're not afraid to test things out with. Longdraw is not one of those things that you want to try to do with sacrificial fiber. It's going to cause more pain and tears and suffering than it warrants. Just buy good quality fiber for Longdraw, particularly carded fiber. Freshly carded fiber is best. Because it has lots of air, and air is what you want in a long draw spun yarn. All right, now I've nattered at you guys quite a bit, so let me move the camera and I will show you guys how I have it going right now. I'm still trying to give you guys a slightly top-down view. It's a little bit skewed, so you guys are actually coming across me right now. The trick with any long draw yarn is to make sure that your uptake, the amount of pressure this drive band is putting on your bobbin and your pulley, is sufficient to be able to pull on your yarn without ripping it out of your hand. It has to allow the twist into the fiber all on its own and not break your singles. So again, Goldilocks. I can't tell you, oh, you need this much pressure on your drive band, because everybody's tolerance levels are different. Everybody's wheels are different. Even wheels from the same manufacturer can have different size pulleys and tolerances. So you have to find your own sweet spot. Because you don't want it to pull out of your hands, but you also don't want to be able to do this. See, I don't have enough tension on my bobbin right now because I can just pull it back out without any trouble. So I need to adjust this. And now I've twist locked myself. Now you can see that I can pull against or draft against my orifice right here and allow the twist to jump into my fiber supply and pull back in a timely fashion to allow the long draw magic to happen. And for those of you who are under the impression that supported long draw is wrong, please get that out of your head. It is absolutely not true. Supported long draw is just as viable as unsupported long draw. And for those who say, well, with a microscope, you can see your pinch points. If you need a microscope, to see the difference. Is there really a difference? I would say no. Also, when you're plying, you're pinching and allowing that to go onto your bobbin. And every single time you pinch and allow it to go into your bobbin, you're creating a pinch point. So you're going to do it regardless. So, supported long draw, perfectly valid, people. Go with it. You have to get a feel for your wheel and know exactly how fast the wheel is going and how fast you should be drawing your hand back. If you go too fast, you will break your singles. If you go too slow, you will twist lock yourself. So it is a dance. So the moral of this story is setting up your wheel exactly as you need it to be with the correct amount of tension for you, and staying just ahead of your twist when you draw back so you're not going too fast or too slow. Everything about long draw is Goldilocks. And honestly, spinning long draw on a double drive wheel is actually not really any different than spinning long draw on a Scotch tension wheel, other than the fact that a Scotch tension is going to naturally pull harder on your bobbin, whereas a double drive wheel is a much more gentle option for braking. And because it is so gentle, a lot of people have trouble finding that sweet spot, but there's nothing wrong with taking the time to find the sweet spot. And then once you're there, and you know you're there, and you're so good. Most spinning wheels that are double drive also allow for you to spin them in Scotch tension. So if you are absolutely struggling and stumped and just can't get it yet, switch back to Scotch tension and figure it out there, and then come back to a double drive and figure it out here. And I know there are a lot of spinners out there who say they're not technical spinners and don't know anything about ratios and drive systems and things like that. But if you're going to be a wheel spinner and you're going to commit the money to buy the wheel, I would argue you should also commit the brain power to learn enough about your wheel and its construction and how its parts work to fully understand the capabilities of your wheel. So learn the ratios, learn the differences between double drive and Scotch tension and Irish tension, all those kind of things. So there you have it. All right, guys, that's all that I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and sharing. If you haven't already done so, please do so. We do have memberships available for the channel. If you would like to become a channel member, you can find that in the description below. If you guys have any other questions about spinning wheels, about long draw, about Scotch tension, or anything else like that, just let me know in the comments and I will be happy to address those at a later time for you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, happy spinning.